no one knows the real truth about me, how hard I really go.
I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. And a story I'll tell you with real quick. I tried once to get in the Air Force to be an Air Force pararescueman, and I quit for fear of the water. I was 175 pounds. I left the Air Force 4 years later at 300 pounds. There's a long story in there on how that came to be. So I came home one day from working at a job called Ecolab where I sprayed for cockroaches. Made $1,000 a month, weighing 300 pounds. I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs, Navy SEAL training. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, "Come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone." He didn't know how much I weighed. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, "You're fat and you're black." I said, "I want to be a Navy SEAL." He said, "I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old." I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter.
If I want to help people out, the only way I can cut to the surface, I had to tell them where I came from to give people hope. I come from hell, and a lot of it I created. Not just society. Yeah, society helped me out, but I created a lot of the hell that I had to go through. I made this picture out to be a lot worse than what it was. It was bad, but I made it out to be, insurmountable. So yeah, we can be our worst enemy. So everywhere I went, I was having all these kind of obstacles hit me in the face. So I just hit it. So I became a really closed person because I didn't want to stress her out anymore. So I became this person who walked around with like two sides of David Goggins. There's one side that was like, I'm a tough guy. That was the outside surface. But on the inside, I was a kid that was just hurting, that needed all kind of help, but no one knew it.
Right.
And never talked about it because why? That showed weakness. And my mom didn't need to hear it. At least that's what I thought. So, for me to come out and be this vulnerable, because everybody thinks I'm Superman. I had to tell the truth. And the truth is very important. And for me, a lot of years of my life growing up, I lied a lot. Especially nowadays in this society, we like to surround ourselves. It makes us feel so good. Those people who say, it's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. It isn't okay, man. And I get it. Society's changing and we love to feel wanted and loved. Trust me. That's all important. It is. But you have to have the truth from people. Hey, you're not working your butt off hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. We all think we're trying hard, but what are you gauging that off of? Trying hard is something in your mind just doesn't stop.
Why is the truth so important?
First of all, it does set you free mentally, and it gives you a starting point. You have to have the truth to have a starting point. If I'm lying to you about who I am, or I'm lying to you about whatever, there's no starting point. There's a false reality.
Right.
You have to create the real reality. Once you come face to face with who you are, so that starting point is the truth. The no fucking bullshit truth that only you can tell yourself. I'm always preparing for not being a bitch. A lot of people get to a point, for instance, if Jennifer can't do something, if she can't go for a run or whatever, just cause something's wrong, some simple shit, it's gonna bother her. I got to a point in my life where I realized this is life. And so I move on past things real quick. So people are like, oh my God, what are you going to do, David, if you can't run? Motherfucker, I'll swim or I'll go to college or I'll do something else. This isn't my life. So I'm very aware how quick life can take shit from you. And I've always prepared my mind for the next chapter. So when I was young, I used to be a little piece of shit, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. The second I got my head out of my ass and I realized, man, you can achieve a lot of shit if you get off your ass and you start moving and you start motivating yourself. So I became a self-motivator. So I started front-loading. And front-loading is people, man, you've done so much by 47 because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring me. So when these bad times come, and also not not only that, work your ass off so you can enjoy. Yeah, you're taking a shot. You may not live to be old, but what if you do? and you worked your ass off when you were able, and you were able to fucking get up early, able to grind. If you front load it properly, the back half of your fucking life is money. And that's what I did. The second I realized that, man, you are a piece of shit, we got to get going. Because at 47, man, you're not going to be able to do any of this shit. 50, whatever you are. So I front loaded. So all these bad things have happened to me. I sit back and go, man, how are you handling this so well? Motherfucker, I've done it.
Do you ever have a day where you just think, fuck it, I can't be asked to do anything. I'm not going for a run, I'm not stretching, I'm doing nothing.
Every day. I can't do it. There may be some days I get up with poopy pants and I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck this, man. Like, why am I having this such a structured life? Why? And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. I retire every day. I'm done with this shit. And I sit around and I say, okay, so you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them, being fine with being mediocre. I'm like, fuck that, man.
And you have that conversation with yourself every day?
Not every day. It's those bad days.
Yeah.
It's those bad days. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are. Now I'm talking about talent, like some God-given ability. Talent that sometimes you have to hone, you have to work on, and you have to harness yourself. And they just walk around just on their phones, just clueless to how powerful they are. I'm not saying to put yourself down. I'm saying listen to the truth. And the truth isn't in the 20%. The truth is in this other part of your brain saying, look, man, you're wasting a bunch of percentage here. We have 80 more percent that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you got to go through all of this shit. So a lot of us know that. We know.
We do know deep down.
Yeah, I can get over here, but over here, man, this is much better, because I got to go through this journey that is not fun. This from 20 to 100%, this shit in between is not fun. So we decide to live over here. So everybody goes, how do you do that? You know exactly how to do that. It's not a magic trick. It's all back down to a very primitive mindset of we just have to do. It's like breathing. Breathing becomes normal. Like we don't know that we're doing it. That's how you have to live your life. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, it's just what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical. I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. There's going to be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are going to want to do it. And that's your new norm. That's your new norm. That's all I'm talking about. Like your biggest enemy, the most important conversation you will ever have in your fucking life is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually, you're going to act on it, whether you're good or bad. It is about you. It's strictly about you finding who you are. So many people die, live 100 years, never fucking know who they are. Never know who they are. You have to look in that mirror and know there's so much more in here, man. Because I can literally right now be a 300-pound guy spraying for cockroaches still to this day. If I did not look in that mirror and say, there has to be more to this. This can't be it. And then willing to go into it, dive deep into it, and give all I have to find it. That's what all that's about. When I started this journey, I realized that I'm going to be somebody, and I'm searching for a feeling of true victory for myself, and only myself. The second I shut out the whole world, and realize that one thing, that I am in this world alone. I'm fighting this race by myself. That right there is my fuel. Is I know that there's really no one out there grinding like me. And if they are, so be it. My goal in life was to, in my mind, believe I'm the hardest man alive. And that's why the whole thing is can't hurt me. That's what it's about. It's about whatever you think you are, you have to make that dream a reality. But that's where the hard part is. is making that dream reality. That's where the hard work comes. That's where people know, how do you keep grinding every day? I had to look in